At the beginning of this movie, we see that Benjamin Engel, a hacker from Berlin, sits in an interrogation room. He says that he has information regarding Friends, the Russian cyber mafia, also MRX, an infamous hacker known on the dark net, and he only talks with the officer in charge of Han Limburg, head of the cyber division in Europol. In an interrogation room, Han asked him, "So, you are who am I?" "That's why you are here today, and I'm here too. Everything is connected to each other, and everything has an end." Ben said, "I got everything mixed up. I'm in the middle." Benjamin tells Han that he always wanted to be a superhero with superpowers, like he always wanted to do something impossible, and he has already a kind of superpower, which is invisibility. He also has a superhero costume. All superheroes have a painful story, like Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman all have a sad life story. Ben never met his father as he ran away to France when he was born. He lives alone with his ailing grandmother whose father died in World War II and brought only 3 bullet cases as his memory, and his mother committed suicide when he was 8. His story is the same, a hero story. His grandmother takes care of him later. He begins to take care of his grandmother. Han insists that she is not a psychologist. She doesn't care about any of this. She just wants to know about Clay and the Friends. Ben tells her that hacking is like magic. They are related to each other. He says that he learned a programming language and hacked his first system when he was 14. Although he felt like a loser in real life, he felt a sense of belonging on the internet. While spending most of his time on the darknet, he met his hacking hero, MRX, whose identity no one knows and who can hack into the system. Benjamin aspires to be like him. MRX is a genius hacker who is hailed supreme in the dark web and who was a superhero for everyone. He didn't care about anyone or anything. Ben wanted to be like him. One day, Ben goes to a pizza delivery place where a group of students were studying, and he is bullied for his weird bird costume. There he meets Maria, the love of his school days. Maria was frustrated about her exam. One of them joked, "Do you expect someone will steal questions for you?" and also said that he called Superman, but he didn't have the time. Everyone there laughs at Ben and makes fun of him. Ben comes away without money. After hearing these, finally his day of becoming a superhero has come. Maria has a problem and has to solve it. That night, he went to the university and hacked into its servers to download the exam questions, but is caught by the security guard and handed over to the police. The police sentenced him to 50 hours of community service. During that time, while working on cleaning the streets as punishment, Ben meets Max, and after knowing his knowledge about computer language, he invites him to the party that night. At that party, Ben saw Maria again. Max, a fellow hacker who Benjamin feels is the opposite of himself, a charismatic, cocky, and confidential individual. There he met his 2 hacker friends, Stefan and Paul, who are interested in Ben because of his hacker background. Then they asked Ben to prove that he was the real deal or he can't go live. He hacks into the electricity board's servers and kills power to a couple of blocks. After that, the police came there. Maria recognizes Ben as Pizza Bird Boy. Max and his friends crash the party and make a run for it. Later, Maria recognizes Ben as they were in the same school. Also said that the evening was good. Ben returns home to find the gate open and his grandmother not in the house. After finding him, he was taken to the doctor. She is diagnosed with Alzheimer's 4 years ago and is hospitalized. Ben was going somewhere by train. Then Max came and took him to show him something. Max says that there are people who think they are safe, but actually they are not. They want security, but there is no such thing as security. Max explained to him the concept of social engineering is the greatest form of hacking. Stefan and Paul joined them and they steal a car and drive away. Went to a seminar and they hacked a laptop and provided a mocking video instead of its presentation. Han stops Ben and asks how she knows what he's saying is true. Ben presents some of Han's personal information to prove the truth and says that he considers Han lonely. The 4 men christen themselves Clay, clowns laughing at you, and begin making themselves known by hacking into a couple of small events. They use Ben's grandmother's place, which is now empty because she is undergoing long-term care at a hospital. They hack different company servers and cause general mayhem around Berlin. In a form of pranking which becomes popular on social media, people started following them using #Clay to make their activities go viral. When Ben meets Maria again at the supermarket, Maria tells him that they have to stop meeting secretly. At that moment, Han enters this game, who is the lead cybercrime investigator of Europol and is after Friends due to their past attacks on German army servers and the European Central Bank of Frankfurt. Han told the meeting they found another persons involved with the German army's servers. The name of this group is Friends. They are connected with the Russian cyber mafia, which targets various internationals. 3 of them have been identified, and 1 has not been identified. They survive various important data dark web, and the Russian cyber mafia takes it. However, Han has been unsuccessful for 3 years, and her position is at risk. Ben waits with the car outside the club to meet Maria. Maria, at one point, sees Ben outside the club and gets into his car and talks about the car. Ben goes to kiss Maria, but Maria stops him and gets out of the car. However, MRX, with whom is Max obsessed, mocks them outright. Infuriated, Max wants to perform an outrageous feat of hacking, and Ben suggests hacking the main building of BND, or the German Central Intelligence. Impressed by this outrageous idea, the group agrees with Ben and decides to hack the BND in order to impress MRX. Clay decides that they need to up their game to gain respect by the dark web, so they break in and hack the printers at the Federal Intelligence Service overnight. The printers print the Clay logo titled "No System is Safe" all around the building. In the morning when the office resumes, this becomes major news. However, when they go to the club and celebrate, Ben meets Maria again at the club. That night, Ben wants to tell Maria about his feelings, and he finds Max and Maria kissing and comes home angrily. Later, Max and his friends want to come inside the house, but Ben tells them to leave him alone. Then Max says that Ben is nothing without them, a nobody. Ben freaks out and secretly contacts MRX, offering him valuable information, a database from BND's private servers, which he hacked while he was in the BND building, which impresses MRX, and falls asleep. When the group arrives the next day, Ben is still furious and attacks Max, who responds by beating him up. However, Paul, watching the TV, hears on the news that one of the members of Friends, nicknamed Krypton, was murdered. The news report says that the Krypton murder and the BND building hacking are connected by the same formula, which is going to be the biggest scandal in history. The news report also states that the data stolen during the BND building hacking, including a list of secret employees, proving that the information identified Krypton as a double agent working with Han to expose MRX and Friends, and Clay is now labeled as a terrorist group for hacking the information. The news also says that Clay is behind the BND building hacking at this time. MRX is releasing that data to the Russian cyber mafia. Ben admits that he gave the information from the BND to MRX. Seeking to clear their name for the murder, Benjamin contacts MRX from a public internet service, who instructs them to hack into the Europol database in exchange for MRX's identity. A Trojan is a program that allows an external, unauthorized person to gain access to computers in a network. After dissolving their hardlines in acid to erase data, they travel to Europol's headquarters in The Hague in order to try to break their way in, but it's impossible to find a way inside. Clay tries its best but is unable to hack into Europol. As a last resort, they check the sewers, with no luck, and Max hurts his hand on a nail. However, while checking out the building, Benjamin notices a group of scholars visiting the building, and one of them drops his visitor card. Using Max's advice about social engineering, Benjamin manages to gain access to the building by fooling a guard and planting a hacking device inside. He then hacks into the internal Europol servers and provides MRX with an entrance secretly encoded inside as a double Trojan horse, so MRX will be exposed when he tries to gain access. However, MRX, anticipating this, takes a snapshot of Benjamin via his webcam, exposing him. Benjamin is forced to flee when a group of Russian mobsters find him. He evades them in the subway. Benjamin returns to the hotel where he was staying with the trio, only to find them murdered. Having no other choice and knowing that Friends would kill him, he decided to turn himself into Han, proving that he is serious after stating that he hacked her profile and learned personal information about her. Han, who was suspended for her failure to capture them and is desperate to apprehend Friends and MRX, agrees to put Benjamin into a witness protection program in exchange for capturing them. Benjamin logs in as MRX himself and spreads lies about MRX being a snitch, forcing the real MRX to force his way into the darknet servers with unsafe methods, allowing Benjamin to expose him. Ben goes back to the hotel to tell the other Clay members that he has been exposed. No, they are not dead, and he urges the rest to get away. But they decide to stick together and get through this as a team. Clay's objective is to get Ben access to the witness protection program to help him erase his identity from the files. With Marie's help, they discover that the people with mental illness can't be part of the witness protection program. Using this knowledge, Clay comes up with a plan. First, they place small, misleading clues pointing to the possibility that Ben has multiple personality disorder just like his mother. Then they purposely puncture a nail wound into Ben's hand for Han to find. However, after agreeing to give Benjamin the witness exchange program, Han notices a wound going through his palm, the same wound that Max got after running a nail through his hand, and realizes that Max, Stefan, and Paul are all made-up characters. She visits Benjamin's doctor, who states that his mother had multiple personality disorders and committed suicide because of it, learning that it can be genetically inherited. Han connects various plot holes in Benjamin's story and realizes that he alone was Clay, imagining the trio due to his illness. Han confronts Benjamin, who has an emotional breakdown, as people with mental disorders cannot be given witness protection. However, Han changes her mind and allows him access to the witness protection program, revealed to be an actual program containing information about all citizens of Germany. Benjamin changes his identity here. Han, dropping Benjamin off, states that she let him go because he truly wants to stay invisible, and lets him go on the condition that he never hacks again. Han asks Ben about the magic trick. Ben does this trick with 4 sugar cubes through the Inquisition, where he hides 3 cubes in his hand and reveals only 1 and explains the trick to her and says, "Everyone sees what they want to see." Benjamin, now sporting blonde hair, is standing alone on the Scandlines ferry heading north. However, he is suddenly joined by Marie, Max, Stephen, and Paul. In narration, Benjamin states that he performed the greatest social engineering hack ever. The scene shifts back to Benjamin going back to the hotel, finding the guys alive and well. He instructs them to flee since MRX knows his identity, but they refuse to leave him behind. Marie confirms that mentally ill subjects cannot be granted witness protection. They devise a plan for Benjamin to go to Han and dictate the story, deliberately giving plot holes which she will most likely decipher, and then using her grief for him to give him access to the witness protection program, and also spiking his hand with a nail to make the story seem truthful. In the server room, it was revealed that Benjamin didn't change his identity, he erased it completely. Benjamin states that Han will eventually realize his deception, but she won't hunt him down as she got what she wanted. Indeed, at a press conference announcing the defeat of Friends and MRX, Han, having an epiphany, smiles as she realizes the truth.